Jayo Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Stokta Sarasri Srimadave Charanam His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai All glories to the Assembly Devotee. All glories to the Assembly Devotee. All glories to the Assembly Devotee. All glories of in Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayad Mudiraye Nashtaprayestu Avadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistuke Yamsyanubhavam Akhilam Sutisaramekam Adhyatma Deepamatitir Satam Tamandam Samsarina Karunaya Purana Guyam Tam Vyasaso Namupayami Gurur Muninam. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, chapter 28. Purandana becomes a woman in the next life. Text number 43. Patim Paramadharmagyam Vaidarvi Malayadhvajam Premna Paryacharadhitva Bhogan Sapati Devata Patim Paramadharmagyam Vaidarve Malayadhvajam Premna Paryacharadhitva Bhogan Sapati Devata Patim Paramadharmagyam Vaidarve Malayadhvajam Premna Paryacharadhitva Bhogan Sapati Devata Patim Paramadharmagyam Vaidarvi Malayadhvajam Premna Paryacharadhitva Bhogan Sapati Devata Pati Paramadharmagyam Vaidarvi Malayadhvajam Premna Paryacharadhitva Bhogan Sapati Devata Patim Paramadharmagyam Vaidarvi Malayadhvajam Premna Paryacharadhitva Bhogan Sapati Devata Patim, her husband, Parama, supreme, Dharmagyam, knower of religious principles, Vaidarvi, the daughter of Vidarbha, Malayadhvajam, named Malayadhvaja, Premna, with love and affection, Paryacharat, served in devotion, Hitva, giving up, Bhogan, sense enjoyments, Sa, see, he, sa, see. Okay. Pati Devata, accepting her husband as the Supreme Lord.
Accepting her husband as the Supreme Lord.
You say Pati Dev, right? Pati Dev. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The daughter of King Vidarbha accepted her husband, all in all, as the supreme. She gave up all sensual enjoyment and in complete renunciation followed the principles of her husband, who was so advanced. Thus, she remained engaged in his service. Please repeat. The daughter of King Vidarbha accepted her husband all in all as the supreme. She gave up all sensual enjoyment and in complete renunciation followed the principles of her husband, who was so advanced. Thus she remained engaged in his service. Purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Figuratively, King Malayadwaja is the spiritual master and his wife Vidarbhi is the disciple. The disciple accepts the spiritual master as the supreme personality of Godhead, as stated by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Guruvastaka, Sakshad Haritvaina. One directly accepts the Guru, the spiritual master, as the supreme personality of Godhead. One should accept the spiritual master not in the sense that the Mayavadi philosophers do, but in the way recommended here. Since the spiritual master is the most confidential servant of the Lord, he should be treated exactly like the supreme personality of Godhead. The spiritual master should never be neglected or disobeyed like an ordinary person. If a woman is fortunate enough to be the wife of a pure devotee, she can serve her husband without any desire for sense gratification. If she remains engaged in the service of her exalted husband, she will automatically attain the spiritual perfections of her husband. If a disciple gets a bona fide spiritual master simply by satisfying him, he can attain a similar opportunity to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksu Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Uta Padakamalan Sri Guru Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastuti Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhan Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Vikshakripa Sindhu Vya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyabadi Paschatya Desatarini Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sometimes these flies come because they see that we have less devotees to attend the class. They come to make the number. And they are living soul, right? who knows their next life by attending every day Srimad Bhagavatam class.
Sometimes they attend Bhagavatam class their entire life.
Right.
They live their entire life.
This is really beneficial. We think that only we are benefited, but it's not. Everybody is benefited by Bhagavatam. But I'm a little worried about the curtain. Mother Samnavan is struggling with that with great anxiousness to fix it. This is called Prabhupada translated laulium to anxiety. Devotees get anxiety to serve the Lord. As a result of his anxiety, he left Vrindavan Dham. Can you imagine some people live in Vrindavan and then pretend like they are Radhe Radhe, he's feeling bhav, when this Prabhupada come out from Vrindavan. He has that great anxiety in his heart that how can I serve the Lord better? In one way, in directly seeing that Prabhupada was merciful for the living being, so he wanted to deliver all the living entities from this world, but more than that, the pure devotee, they have that anxiety to serve the Supreme Lord. And while serving the Supreme Lord, all the living beings are automatically benefited. They are uplifted from their fallen condition life. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is called Grantharaj. Why does it call Grantharaj? Raj means the king. Grantha means scriptures. The king of the scriptures. Like other Vaishnava Sampradayas, if we go to Sri Vaishnava, they consider their prime book as Vishnu Purana. Is also talking about Lord Krishna, Vishnu, Narayana, Vishnu Purana. We quote so many texts from Vishnu Purana. If you go to Madhvacharya Sampradaya, the present Madhvacharya Sampradaya, they take their prime religious book is as Mahabharata. That's why they follow the Varnasrama Dharma. We please the Lord by following our prescribed duty as Varna and Asrama. According to your Swabhava, nature, you perform, and they quote Mahabharata is the prime main scriptures. And if we go to other Sampradayas, some people take it as different books. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Yes, yes. Because higher than that, yes.
He wanted to go straight to Krishna.
Yeah, wanted to go straight to Krishna, talking about Krishna. Because in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraja Goswami quoted a special verse from Purana that glorifies and specifies the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam. What Srimad Bhagavatam exactly is. As we have unlimited Vedic literatures, Vedas, 4 Vedas, Upanishads, Smriti Shastras, Shruti Shastras, and Puranas, unlimited corollary Vedas, Ayurvedas, Dhanurveda, Atharva Veda, and then Smriti Shastra, like Manusmriti, so many other Smritis, Dharma Shastras. Out of all these scriptures, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chose Srimad Bhagavatam. So in entire Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, we only hear the quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam. Most of the quotations are taken from Srimad Bhagavatam. The answer is, I need to look up my... It's a very nice verse. We should all learn by this verse so that it is useful in our preaching movement. Arthoyam Brahma Sutranam. What is Brahma Sutra? Vedanta Sutra is the commentary of all the Vedanta Vedas, all the Vedas. The conclusion of all the Vedas are given in Vedanta Sutra, Brahma Sutra. And the artha, the real meaning of that Vedanta Sutra is presented in Srimad Bhagavatam. Not only that, we have more to hear from book. Bharatartha vinirnayaha. Bharatartha means whatever conclusion is given in Mahabharata, the conclusive decision of Mahabharata is presented in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Gayatri Bhasya Rupo Sau, the Gayatri mantra, the conclusion of the Veda is Gayatri mantra. They say Gayatri Mata, Veda Mata. Gayatri is known as Veda Mata, mother of Vedas. And why it is called Gayatri? Three means three means three Vedas. And this mantra is sung by three Vedas. So it is called Gayatri, and is the mother of Vedas. And this is in Karmakandi Brahmanas, the highest mantra is Gayatri mantra. They always do Trisandhya with Gayatri mantra. And we also do the Trisandhya in ISKCON, but we do not chant Gayatri for that Trisandhya, but we do chant it for Gayatri mantra, but it is not our prime focus. We do Sandhyarati. The process is different, but principle is there. Prabhupada brought this principle of performing Sandhyarati, morning Mangalarati, in afternoon Madhyana Arati. So this is all equal in principle in Vedic Karmakandi lifestyle and Vaishnava lifestyle. But we are taking the essence of this. So the Gayatri mantras, the Srimad Bhagavatam is considered as the complete explanation of the same Gayatri mantra. Even Ramayana is also same. It explains the whole Gayatri mantra. And here it is said that Gayatri Bhasya Ruposau Vedartha Paribrahmitaha Purananam Samarupa Saksyat Bhagavato Ditaha Dwadasa Skanda Yuktoyam. And this Srimad Bhagavatam is the conclusion of all the Vedanta Sutra. And Vedanta Sutra is the commentary of all the Vedas. And Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not give any commentary on Vedanta Sutra, because what is the use of giving separate commentary while Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentary? Mahaprabhu was asked about it, and he answered that way. And Sata, it is a Dwadasa Skanda Yuktoyam, and this beautiful Bhagavatam is divided into Dwadasa. Dasa means 10, Dwa means 2. 10 plus 2? 12. 12 cantos. Yuktoyam Sata Vicheda Samyutaha. And it also explains about the 18,000 verses in it. So this is the importance. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, text number 143 and 144. You can go and look it later on. So that's why we study daily in our regular life. But other people, other sampradaya, other things, they use Srimad Bhagavatam as a weekly Saptaha matter. They organize big Bhagavat Saptaha and they discuss about it, and they try to release the Bhagavatam, and they use it for, again, material purposes. Like if I need to open a school or hospital or any social work, then they say, okay, let's organize Srimad Bhagavatam and collect money out of it, and then do it, and then use that money in building these structures and everything. But it is actually misuse of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srila Prabhupada, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they established this principle that devotees hear Bhagavatam every single day in their daily life and understand the meaning, go deeper into the essence of the Srimad Bhagavatam and then revive that devotion to Krishna. That is the whole purpose of studying Bhagavatam daily. And in Kali Yuga, like Vidarbhi, she is following her husband as life and soul, as a supreme personality of Godhead, because her husband was a great devotee of Lord. So we do not have that opportunity, that fortune here in Kali Yuga that we follow our wife and husband as life and soul. So none of us are situated in pure devotional standpoint. So neither husband is qualified, a better pure devotee, nor wives are following the husband with sincere heart. But in this case, we all need help from the Supreme Lord to uplift our consciousness in Krishna consciousness. So it is very, very important that by embracing this knowledge from Bhagavatam is a bhakti yoga, science of spiritual knowledge. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita this morning we are studying, among the sciences, among the knowledge, I am the spiritual science. Adhyatma. Adhyatma means adhyavasita iti adhyatma. Means you go inside and see who you are. You study about yourself. Krishna says science. Science means it has process, it has so many steps to follow. It's not easy. It's not like spiritual science or studying about your own self. It's not very easy. It's so mystical. It has so many things to unfold and to know. So when we focus, when we chant and we deeply study about ourselves, then we start seeing who we actually are. We also try to distinguish ourselves from the body, from ego, from mind, from intelligence, from all the conception that we have. We completely detach ourselves from those established concepts that we have in our life. And once we understand ourselves, and we slowly we start understanding the Lord, the Supreme Lord, the Super Soul, who is next to us. So it is very deepest and very profound knowledge, profound science. And just like different tantra, the tantric people, they perform very severe austerities to be perfected in performing tantra, shastra. They go and live in a crematorium place. They smear the ashes in their body. Sometimes they do such a very gross practice in order to get perfection. And actually, Ramanujacharya, he brought the science of Saranagati from Vedas. Means when we have the Saranagati is a science, then it has a certain step to perform. Otherwise, without following that steps, the perfection in devotional service will not be there. And that is also disclosed in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai were discussing about the goal of performing devotional service. The essence of devotion that comes practicing devotional service cannot be attained by going through so much austerity, so much is Swadhyaya and so many other steps. Because thousands of years the yogis are controlling their mind and holding the breath and then stopping the urges of senses, but they are still not able to attain that supreme position of the Lord, or supreme personality of Godhead. They are still working on it because they miss this. And here
in Padyavali, Rupa Goswami quoted from Chaitanya Charitamrita, which said that Krishna Bhakti Bhavita Matihi Kriyatam Api Kutopi Labhyate. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Matihi Kriyatam Yadi Kutopi Labhyate. If anywhere you can find to buy the science of Krishna consciousness, if there is any marketplace where people are selling Krishna consciousness, and if you happen to find this to buy, now what do you use to purchase this precious jewel? Here in second thing, Tatra laulyam api mulyam ekalam. Tatra laulyam api mulyam ekalam. The only price to purchase it is intense greed, laulyam. And this laulyam, the word greed in Sanskrit, it translates as greed, but in Prabhupada in conversation, he says that the devotee has that great anxiety to serve the Lord. This is where Sahajya and real Vaishnavas, they differ their philosophy. The Sahajya, they say, oh, I am so greedy to get Krishna, Ha Radhe, Ha Krishna, Ha Radhe, Ha Krishna. But devotees, they engage themselves in performing practical service. Just like I saw Mother Sandhamani's face when she was trying to fix the curtain. She has a great anxiety in her face that, oh my God, I'm going to offer the food right now, and the curtain should be closed, but now it is opening everywhere. Gauranga Premadas was assisting, and he had the same contagious anxiety transferred into him too. So the devotee has this great desire to serve the Lord instead of enjoying the Lord's opulences artificially. And here further he said, Janma koti sukritir na labhyati. This greed, this anxiousness to serve the Lord cannot be attained by millions of lifetimes, sukriti, performing pious things and this and that. It can never bring one into the platform of performing service until one is blessed by devotees. Again, that's why Prabhupada explained in the Bhagavatam, in the purport of this sloka, that her disciple, his guru, is as equal, as respective as the Supreme Personality of God. Sakshad Harittvena, Samastra Sastrair. And same thing is explained in all the scriptures, that guru is such a thing. And in Nama Aparad, every morning we chant, not every morning, every Sunday. Do not consider a spiritual master to be an ordinary person. What is the whole?
To disobey the order of the spiritual master. To
disobey the order of the spiritual master and consider him as an ordinary person. We do not add this in there, right? Do we say that?
We don't say that. That's there. That's in the nectar. That's from
Yeah,
the nectar.
right.
This one we use is from the nectar.
Yeah, considering spiritual master an ordinary person. Spiritual master may appear sometime with some flaw or some weaknesses, but that should not be judged, or we should not consider that things. So because they are very dear to Krishna. Kintu prabhorya priya eva tasya is very dear to the Lord. You want to say something? No. And in Upanishad, it is said that for a disciple, it means discipline. One who follows the discipline is a disciple. And brahmacharis, especially brahmacharis who live in an ashram under direct protection of the spiritual teachers, and they absolutely follow the orders of the spiritual master. They even do not eat without asking the permission from the spiritual master. It is mentioned in this Upanishad. And why this eating? Why it is given that if you need instruction to even to eat, what to talk about doing something important in your life? How important it is to follow the instruction from the spiritual life. How important it is to understand who you are, What is your relationship with the Supreme Lord? What is your duty to please that Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead? If we do things whimsically, then this is where the problem comes. Never ever act whimsically, and this is the material disease. We want to be independent. The whole concept of independence, like 4th July, all the different days in different countries, independent, we are independent. This is all material disease that coming there. We want to be free. We want to be away from God, and as a result, we are suffering. All the acharyas in the tikas, in the commentaries, they have mentioned about this disease that living being wants to independent of the Lord, and they suffer in this material world. So we are here practicing in Krishna consciousness. We are practicing. I don't want to be independent anymore. I want to remain among the devotees so that I can listen somebody, so that I can follow the instruction as a teamwork. Even material people say teamwork makes the dream work. We are practicing to go to Krishna because Krishna doesn't want us to be independent. And we had that feeling and we are separated from him. Now we are trying to go back. So before we are qualified, we need to be completely come to the ground, in the ground that we want to follow somebody, authority. The concept of following authority is preparing us to return back home, back to God. And in order to do that, when we chant this Srimad Bhagavatam daily study, Prabhupada says scrutinizingly, not confirm. Don't break the phone, Prabhu. But thank you for confirming. Studying is different, right? You read? Yes, these flies are here. They don't like what I'm saying. So when we study, the more we study, the more we see ourselves very clearly. All the qualities talking in the Srimad Bhagavatam that we start seeing in myself. In the early stage of devotional life, we see if something is talking about bad qualities, the trigunya, like the mode of material nature. Oh, look at her. She is exactly like what the sloka is explaining. In the beginning, we see that quality in other, in other, not in ourselves. But when we go deeper and deeper and deeper, we try to see ourselves very clearly. Chato darpana marjanam is become more clear. And we see that problem is me, not you. Then we fix it and we focus on service. So the devotees get this seva sukha, this pleasure from serving Supreme Lord. And in that service attitude, devotee have anxiety and fear. When people say, when they study Gopi Gita, oh, it was so nice. I'm enjoying reading Gopi Gita. But if we see and go inside and look the nature of the Gopi Gita, the gopis are crying for Krishna. How can we say I'm very happy, I'm enjoying reading Gopi Gita? You should cry like Gopi does. That is the meaning of anxiety, that we have that fear, anxiety for Krishna, and then devotees engage in devotional service. And by performing this, our heart become cleansed and we become eligible to return back home, back to God, eligible. So this dependency on Krishna begins from temple. That's why Prabhupada established this temple all over the world, so that people will come and be trained and follow somebody who lead them into the path of devotional service, into the path of back home, back to God. Other than that, if we whimsically act and think mentally, I am performing my devotional service, why do I need to go to temple? I am initiated, I have my guru to instruct me. I can stay at home and then I can chant my round and all these things. Ultimately, alone, loneliness. The Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, what is the term? The separated mentality. Separated mentality. Separatist, yeah. I don't want to be mixed up with you, but I will practice on my own. This will not help us in long run. We should be among the devotees, because devotees, even though they are not very pure devotees, even though they are not very advanced devotees, but somehow or other, by associating with devotees, no matter what level they are in, but it gives us a strength, it gives us understanding, and it helps us to cleanse, and we serve each other, and then we advance in Krishna consciousness, devotional life. That's the only way. And we are like a saragrahi, we take the essence, not the burden. And we practice and we advance and we become more and more humbling ourselves. And then we see that all the living beings are not somebody, but they are part and parcel of Krishna. Then relationship established when Krishna is in the center. Many people do not know all these motivational people, even some devotees like great social media stars. They simply talk about so many inspirational things, taking out Krishna from the picture, and then they bring so many different points and inspire people, but they take out God from the picture. When Krishna is established in the center, then you and me are brothers and sisters automatically. It's very mellifluous relationship there. No any enmity, no any blockages in the curtain, any coverage, anything like that. It's open, wide open, we embrace. And this is the society Prabhupada wanted to create. Everybody bow down, everybody respect, and everybody pay attention to Krishna and live happily, peacefully, and return from this world. Because this world, after all, is not a very beautiful place to live. Even though it is Krishna's creation, even though people can see, the pure devotees can see this as a gift of God and as a spiritual world itself, but this material consciousness of independent mentality should be demolished. And we take shelter and we have to work under somebody. Understand means to stand under, and then you see the picture of Arjuna, he is bowing down and Krishna is up and he's not doing nothing. There's a beautiful story about why we need to be humble. There's a bottle of water and it's a cap on the top. The bottle, people come and open the bottom and they drink water like this. Next person comes, do the same thing. And then the bottle thinks, the cap thinks, dear bottle brother, I am always covering you, protecting you from all the contamination. I blocked all the dirt coming inside. You give water to everyone, but I never get water from you. The bottle said, my dear brother, I'm sorry. Everybody come under and accept, but you sit on my head, and how can I give you water? We need to be humble in order to receive this knowledge of the Vedanta Sutra. So when we study Srimad Bhagavatam daily, and we do not study, we live our life on the principle of Bhagavatam. We sleep, we eat, we do all that services on the principle of this. And we practice the Sakhya Rasa. How do we practice Sakhya Rasa in Krishna consciousness? Just like Arjuna did. How do we practice Sakhya Rasa in our daily Krishna conscious life?
Prabhupada says, in one point, he says, become a friend of the Lord, one should take up the mission of the Lord.
This is exactly what I was saying. When it says preaching. Preaching means to spread the glories of Krishna. So when somebody is a good friend of us, then we try to introduce that person to our other friend. Hey, this is my friend Krishna Kirtaneswar Gauranga Das. He's very nice. Become a fair friend with him. Be benefited from him. So when we go and preach the message of Krishna, that means we are spreading our friend's glories, Krishna's glories.
Like our Bhakta Shan.
Yes, this is how we practice Sakhya Rasa in Krishna consciousness. Because we practice all rasas in different way in Krishna consciousness by like serving Tulsi Maharani, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What service we performing when we worship Tulsi Maharani? Pada Sevanam? Maybe? Because she's always at the feet of the Lord. And when we serve Lord, then she reminds us, she helps us to go to Krishna. So devotees has a completely different ideas about performing activities. Like when material people and devotees, big difference. They come to Krishna. Please, just like last week, our daughter and father came and offered and put a bill. Please, Krishna, help me releasing, extinguishing all these tapas from my life. And devotees come to pray Krishna. They say, my dear Lord, give me strength so that I will not commit again the same offense. So you have to cleanse that offenses again and again and again and again. And give me the strength so that I will not defame you by me falling down. Then people think, oh, this devotee of Krishna, he falls down and he is like bad person. So your name would be defamed when I commit a mistake. So give me that strength so that I will be able to follow the principle of Dharma so that you would be glorified. And when we come to the Tulsi Maharani and to Parikrama, Yani Kani Cha Papani Brahma Hatyadi Kani Cha Tani Tani Pranasanti Pradakshina Pade Pade, every step you do, when you offer water and offer to the Tulsi Maharanis, no matter what kind of heinous offense you commit, you would be free. But our prayer is, Tulsi Maharani, kindly bless me so that I will not commit any offenses, so that you don't have to clean me every time. You don't have to purify me every time that my sins, my offenses. Is to see the difference, vision of the devotees, completely different. So then in that mood of devotional practice, everything is Tusyanti cha Ramanti cha, we're very happy, blissful, perform very happily. We are interested in Krishna consciousness. We are not doing something forcefully. When we perform something involuntarily, so for some service, we shouldn't have that forceful mentality. I'm sorry to bring my son's example, but this is a real example. Okay. So hopefully we will serve each other as a pure devotee of the Lord and with perfect respect and honor, and we do not commit any offenses, and we make our faith not komal faith. There are two types of faith. Tender, one is drid, strong. When we have a tender faith can be shaken at any time. If something happens, I give up Krishna consciousness. I don't believe this anymore. Or it did not bring me as I was expecting. See, we have seen a lot of people come and go because of the tender faith. The faith was not nurtured. But Drida Sankalpa as a Krishna karma kaile krit sarva siddhi hai. When I do something for Krishna, then all things would be perfected and all things would be fulfilled. That when we have that strong determination, no matter what happens in our life, we never give up Krishna from our life. If nine Richter scale earthquake come, we still hold. The principle of holding is very important. How was I explaining the meaning of hold? SOLD, hold.
How am I explaining it?
How did I explain the word HOLD? Home of loving devotion. So we need to hold this principle of bhakti and then keep steady and practice on a regular basis without being shaken away by wind, storm, and so many things, and continue with Drida Viswasa. So Drida Viswasa Kari. All right, and then we will be okay, good in our pursuit of happiness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any question, any comment? Okay, Mataji, please go ahead.
Didn't Prabhupada say Don't be surprised who goes. Be surprised who stays.
They stay, yes.
And he also said that one stick can be broken very easily, but many sticks
stick
together is
together.
difficult. That's the position of devotional service. I wanted to ask you, I mean, I know how I would explain it, kind of, sort of, but in Krishna consciousness, I mean, it would be easy to follow. I'm not in that position, but it'd be easier to follow a husband who was a pure devotee. But Prabhupada came and he initiated women because men are not qualified to fully lead a woman to be liberated. So in a marriage, if we see that our husband has so many or has material desires, that can play on a woman's mind, you know? It's
Yeah.
like, you know, you see it, and then, I mean, how do you want to correct it, and then the husband thinks, you have no respect, you know, why are you not doing this and doing that? You know, why are you not following blindly? But that's why I think there's so many divorces in Kali Yuga, because women and the men are just have become, you know, they don't have that qualification, that Brahminical qualification. They have so many desires like women. That's why Prabhupada gave women initiation. So how would you explain that to, you know, say you're talking to a married couple and they're having difficulty? What's the wife's attitude and the husband's attitude towards a situation like this where, you know, because every woman it's normal for women to want to follow
Yeah.
a man. That's kind of our position. But when we see our husband has so many material desires, what do you do? You know, it's like,
Yeah, this is a very common and very complex situation in the Kali Yuga. And husbands should be very qualified devotees. They should control the senses. The controlling senses is main idea. So that's why Prabhupada says, first you deserve, then you desire that your wife will follow you. And when this principle of chastity and the husband become very, very rigid in devotional service is lost, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought that there is no other way to uplift this condition other than chanting the holy name of the Lord. So it is very sad that devotees and every people are getting divorced and separated. It is because they have something else in their mind, not Krishna. If Krishna is in the center, in the heart, if they have real desire to serve the Lord, then Prabhupada says, Jana iti asu vairagya, there should be immediate detachment should come in front of the plate. So if that detachment is not there and we still performing devotional service and claiming ourselves as devotees, then we are not a real devotees. What is your detachment? What is the natural outcome of practicing bhakti? You are still attached to things, so many unlimited things. Is also we read that to have to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions in this matter means we are not taking up Krishna consciousness seriously. That's a problem. There's a flaw. So chanting Hare Krishna can give solace so that men or women, even in a relationship, we do not expect that complete surrender from our opposite, our wife or husband, because we know that we both are not serving the Lord, and we are simply expecting that she will follow me no matter what I do. It's a material desire. So it is difficult, but we need to more focus on Krishna and give up this expectation in Kali Yuga. We understand this Kali Yuga, and yeah, it's very difficult topic.
Usually have a strong ego. So they see that the wife lays on their mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very complicated. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
At least for me, it is.
Yeah, in Manu Samhita, it is said that husband should fulfill all the desires of his wife, no matter her wife's desire is spiritual or material. And wives should be submissive and follow, but the path of husband. So it is like two-way traffic. Both has to be qualified. I'm not very qualified, but I am also having some experience as a married man. I do learn a lesson. I do not freak out from the problem. I learn a lesson from every single problem, and I focus myself that my goal is not to remain here and be happy with wife, but it should come out from me. Actually, it is giving me a great opportunity to become more close to Krishna. For me, yes, Prabhuji.
I was remembering Rukmini's advice when
Who's Rukmini?
Rukmini Devi, Krishna's wife. She said, I feel bad for those women who accept a material husband full of bones, blood, stool, pus,
Yes.
and bile, covered with nasty mustaches and hair. Rather, all women should accept Krishna as their husband. And so, therefore, sarvadharman prityaja vamekam sharanam vraja. We may have so many material facilities. Even brahmacharya life is also material. So we just have to, ultimately, all of it's going to fall apart. So just make Krishna the goal, right?
Thank you. Chris, you had a hand. Please go ahead.
A quick bit of advice.
Thank you, Prabhu.
If you're in that situation, tell them to take a cold shower and chant Hare Krishna.
So actually, the problem is, the main problem is we are not Krishna conscious. That's the main problem. Problem will be solved if husband or wife become Krishna conscious. That's it. Hare Krishna. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Please forgive me if I make any offenses or